The Grand Vision is a regional planning blueprint designed by citizens to guide future growth, prosperity, and quality of life for generations to come. The following projects are great examples of how Grand Vision principles are being applied in Benzie County. The Energy Network works to create energy options through energy conservation and the development and promotion of alternative energy in the region, all part of a sustainable energy future and a regional economic strategy for Northwest Michigan.
And our vision, Ted and my vision on putting solar panels on our roof and creating some of our own electricity from an alternative source was to make a contribution to reduction of greenhouse gases. We felt it was our obligation to do so. We had lived a long time. We're both retired, and we've been putting CO2 up into the atmosphere all our lives. It was time for us to pay back. So that was our vision. And I think it does fit in with the Grand Vision because it's an investment in the future. And that's what we should all be doing for a better future. We really had a good time doing this. Last winter we decided we wanted to really pursue this and contacted several contractors and got some proposals from them. The best proposal came from Eco Building Products, and we went with them, and we worked for several weeks with Jim Barnes on that and came up with the detailed proposal that we now have on our roof. And it was really very easy to do. Jim put the package together for us, and we approved it and started. We went to work in the middle of April to put this on our roof. We wanted to use our own contractor because he wanted to do this, having never done this kind of installation before, and that worked out very well. But we used a recommendation from Jim for the electrician because he was totally familiar with the process and knew how to install these things and knew how they worked and how they were supposed to work. And that worked beautifully. It went like clockwork. Everybody came the day they were supposed to. It got up in 1 day and 1 hour. And the only reason I think it took another hour on the second day is that the contractor had never done it before and he was being very careful at the beginning. We're just thrilled. They work beautifully. We get about 5 hours of excellent sun coming onto our roof during the day. It's a perfect angle, but we do have trees on the east and on the west. Personally, I think everybody who builds a house should have a roof up in the northern hemisphere that faces south so they can do this. It's a no-brainer. Also, there's no mechanical issue with this system as we know it, and each panel has its own inverter, and we can go on the web and watch what each one is producing at any one time so that we can see whether they're defective at all, which they haven't been. So that's fun. And we get a report every month on how many pounds of CO2 we have offset, which is kind of fun to have. I really do think everybody should be thinking in these terms if they can possibly afford it. Well, I think just about everything I've said applies to the Grand Vision because it's an attempt to look to the future and what we have to do to reduce our hydrocarbon use, and this is one way we can do it. I'm sure there are many other things we should be doing, and we really should be focusing on those as well. Why did you choose Benzie County? Well, we live here, and this is where our house is, so this is where we could install the panels. And it's not been difficult, and permits came well, and people came and checked it out to be sure the connections were all fine, and it got the green light. So if anybody wants to have a tour of the system, I'm happy to do it, and Ted's happy to do it. We're sort of proselytizing this process, and we would like to help other people get to where we are on this. I wish we'd put up more panels.
The collective efforts of citizens and organizations will ensure that the Grand Vision continues to become a reality in Benzie County. Each of us can make a difference by starting or supporting projects that apply Grand Vision principles.